Scorpio Collective Transmission, June 17th, 2026. Today's key transit is Venus in Leo, opposite Pluto in Aquarius. Today is not subtle. Today is not gentle. Today is the day the mask slips. Venus, the Queen of Desire, sits in Leo asking, what does your heart truly want? Across the sky stands Pluto, Lord of the Underworld, in Aquarius asking, and what is it costing you to avoid that truth? Scorpio, this is one of those days where the universe reaches beneath the surface and grabs the roots instead of the branches. The conversation isn't about what happened. The conversation is about why it happened. The conversation isn't about them. The conversation is about what they activated inside you. Because Pluto never comes for the symptom. Pluto comes for the source. What is actually happening in the sky? Venus governs love, relationships, self-worth, money, values, pleasure. Pluto governs power, transformation, control, obsession, death, and rebirth, shadow work. When these two oppose each other, hidden dynamics become visible. The power struggle underneath the relationship, the fear underneath the financial decision, the insecurity underneath the confidence, the attachment underneath the desire. Today is exposure day, not punishment, exposure. And Scorpio knows better than anyone. You cannot heal what you refuse to see. The Scorpio transmission picture. Venus standing in a golden throne room. She knows her value. She knows her worth. She knows what she desires. Then Pluto opens a doorway to the underworld, not to destroy her, to test her. Because wanting something and being attached to something are not the same thing. Today, many Scorpios will discover where they've confused desire with dependency. Love with attachment, protection with control, strength with armor, and that realization could sting, but it could also set you free. Career and purpose. Today's energy may expose where you've been selling yourself short. You may suddenly realize you're doing too much for too little. You've outgrown a role. You've been waiting for recognition instead of claiming authority. You've been carrying responsibilities that were never yours. Pluto asks, why are you still negotiating against your own value? This could show up through a conversation with a boss, a client, a coworker, or a moment of truth with yourself. If something feels uncomfortable today, don't immediately try to fix it. Ask what it's revealing, because Pluto often delivers breakthroughs disguised as discomfort. Money. Money is a major theme under Venus-Pluto, but the real conversation isn't money. It's worth. Today, Scorpio may notice where fear has been quietly driving financial decisions. Fear of loss, fear of failure, fear of not having enough, fear of success. Yes, success too. Some people fear expansion just as much as scarcity. Today's medicine is honesty. Where are you acting from empowerment? Where are you acting from survival? Those two energies create very different futures. Love and relationships. This is where the underworld gets loud. Venus opposite Pluto can bring magnetic attraction, jealousy, power struggles, emotional revelations, truth that can no longer stay hidden. Some Scorpios may find themselves triggered today. Good. Not because suffering is good, because triggers reveal attachments, and attachments reveal wounds. The question is not, why did they do that? The question is, why did that hit me so deeply? That's where the gold is. If you're partnered, have the conversation beneath the conversation. If you're single, examine the stories you're carrying about love, especially the ones that begin with, people always, nobody ever, I have to. Those stories may be older than the situation you're blaming. The deeper Pluto lesson. Pluto is your ruler, Scorpio. You were born for this work. But sometimes even Scorpios forget. Transformation doesn't happen when life changes. Transformation happens when awareness changes. Today is less about changing your circumstances. It's about seeing them differently. The thing you're trying to control may not need control. The thing you're afraid of losing may already be transforming. The thing you're resisting may actually be the doorway. Light aspect of the day. Radical clarity, truth, emotional courage, authenticity, the ability to finally see what has been operating beneath the surface. Today can bring profound breakthroughs around love, self-worth, money, and personal power. You may feel lighter simply because you're no longer carrying an illusion. Dark aspect of the day, control, manipulation, testing people, emotional games, obsessive thinking, trying to force outcomes, trying to grip tighter when life is asking you to release. Remember, a clenched fist cannot receive. Scorpio closing transmission. Today's lesson is not about losing power. It's about finding real power. The false version of power says, control everything. The true version of power says, face the truth. Venus is showing you what your heart desires. Pluto is showing you what stands between you and it. Neither planet is your enemy today. They are working together. One holds the mirror, one holds the torch, and both are asking the same question. What would change in your life if you stopped protecting the wound and started protecting the truth? Scorpio, the underworld is open today. Walk through it consciously. There is treasure on the other side. Light aspect, emotional truth becomes liberation. Dark aspect, attachment disguises itself as love, loyalty, or control. Reflection for the collective. Where in your life are you gripping so tightly that you cannot receive what is trying to arrive? Share your experience below and let the Scorpio collective witness your transformation.